What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy, and I'm gonna be ranting a bit today. I know I don't usually just rant about things, but I need to get this out there because I think it's about time somebody said this. And I'm sure some people have, but maybe not with quite as thorough of an explanation. So, my rant today is gonna be how Kidz Bop is the worst music product out there. Period. I realize this is going to be a very opinionated thing, but I have plenty of reasons for thinking this. First off, it's basically the whole, now that's what I call music, just branded for kids. Like, there's hardly any difference between the two. Yes, each iteration might have some slightly different songs, but like if you were to look at the now that's what I call music collections versus the Kidz Bop collections, many songs would be shared between the two. So, and I'd imagine it's like the same parent company that's trying to do this kind of stuff too. I mean, it might not be, but if it is, then they're essentially just trying to double up and make more money off of the same freaking idea. And even if it's a different company, it's then two different companies who are making loads of money off of nearly the same idea. Also, the songs that are chosen for these Kidz Bop albums, many of them are not really appropriate for kids if they were to be used in their original versions, which I feel like the main point of the whole music compilation album idea is to introduce you to the various artists that are out there so that you'll go check them out. At least, that's what I think it should be. It might just be a matter of, oh, hey, here's what's popular. Listen to this so you're up to date on the latest music trends, even though they're inevitably behind by a few months at the very least. Because by the time they collect all this stuff, get the rights to distribute all this stuff, and actually get it out there, it's been a few months since they decided on the songs to use. Probably. So, again, if we're figuring the main idea of this is to A, just keep up with the latest music trends, and or B, actually go check out these artists, the kids that we're exposing to, you know, these Kidz Bop albums are probably going to at least eventually find the original versions of these songs, which are not always appropriate. In fact, some of these, they have to so butcher and mangle and distort, especially the lyrics. Like, some of them become just shells of their former selves. Case in point, they wanted to do Gucci Gang on one of the Kidz Bop albums. But of course, there's, even in the radio edits, there's so much that has to be just silenced out because it's foul language. So then they try and do a Kidz Bop version of it, and it's just, it's completely unrecognizable, basically. Because they have to change around so much stuff to avoid any sort of inappropriateness. They can't really have anything to do with gangs because then, oh wait, we're encouraging our kids to be in gangs. No, we can't do that. Why the frick would you even try and do Gucci Gang in the first place if you're marketing something to kids? You know that's just going to direct them towards the original, which completely thwarts your intent on making something child appropriate in the first place. And that's what boggles my mind about some of the song choices. Like, also, if you want your kids to have music that's, safe, but also maybe something varied and new and they haven't heard before, you're gonna have to look at different ways of doing that, because Kidz Bop is just gonna be what the latest popular music has been, just marketed to kids and probably reworded some to make it debatably child appropriate. So, then we get into the fact that Kidz Bop, even more so than Now That's What I Call Music, is trying to become like this multimedia empire kind of thing. Not exactly, but like, the Now collections don't do their own music videos because they're just collecting the other songs. Kidz Bop apparently feels the need to do its own freaking music videos. And on top of that, they have a live show that people actually pay money to buy tickets and go see in various venues. Why? Why the frick would you bother? What is the point of seeing Kidz Bop live over just getting the albums? What? What could they possibly be providing that is that much more value that you would have to go and see this separately? It just boggles my mind and turns it into mush. I can't understand this. Why? Like, Kidz Bop is just like one of the worst examples of how out of hand capitalism and marketing ploys can get. All because there's this stuff that makes itself sound like it's designed for kids. It's sung by kids for kids. So? That doesn't mean the songs that you've chosen in their original forms are appropriate for kids in the first place. And you gotta imagine they're eventually gonna come across those versions if you're introducing them to the song in the first place. And then not only are they gonna encounter the original version with all its inappropriate lyrics that you've changed to try and make it child-friendly, but then they're also gonna realize that it's different, that you felt the need to change the lyrics, and they might possibly start questioning things like, oh, why was this particular phrase changed? Because some of them are not obvious, even if you use the original words. The possible, like, double entendres or hidden meanings or different things like that are more subtle in the original version, you still have to edit in the Kidz Bop versions because there's that possible double meaning. And then they go and hear the original and wonder, why did this need to be changed to be appropriate for kids? So then comes the awkwardness of either answering the question for them or them figuring it out on their own. Either way, not good. So yeah, and also, even if the songs that you choose by certain artists are completely fine and appropriate, if you're introducing the kids to these artists and, then they want to explore the broader collection of songs from these artists, more likely than not, they're gonna stumble across some songs that are not child appropriate. How about you just stick to Christian music, eh? If you're really that concerned with music that's appropriate for your child, just go find some Christian music. There are various genres within Christian music these days. You want rock music? You can take Skillet or 1,000 Foot Crutch or different other solid, high quality Christian rock groups. If you want something that's more like, Christian, almost gospel or worship type music. You've got plenty of people that do that kind of stuff. I mean, and some of those even kind of weave back and forth between more worship style music and stuff that's just more like, you know, pop music or R&B or other genres like that. Also, just to put the little cherry on top of our little Sunday of how pathetic this is, they spell Kidz Bop with a freaking Z. Why do so many things that are marketed to kids feel the need to spell the word kids with a Z at the end? If we do this so frequently, we're eventually going to get our children thinking this is how the word kids is actually spelled, when it's not. It's not cute. It doesn't add any more appeal to it. It just means you're trying too hard. Hate to break it to you, but that's all that it really means. It's not helping anybody. Now, I realize they started this well before the whole trend of spelling kids with a Z was a thing. But in fact, they probably started that trend, which is all the more reason to be like, no, Kidz Bop is the worst. So yeah, there might even be other reasons that I could get into, but those are just the ones that come to mind off the top of my head. So, if you're still not convinced that Kidz Bop is the worst, let me know down in the comments section. Or if you think there are other reasons that I have overlooked or ignored why Kidz Bop is the worst, put it down there in the comments. And then we can all just be in unison in our viewpoint that Kidz Bop should not be a thing. Because it shouldn't. It's ridiculous. For so many reasons. It's just a shameless marketing ploy for somebody to get boatloads of money off of something that is like, I mean, okay, sometimes apparently the Kidz Bop brand does their own original songs. But then it's like maybe a couple of songs per Kidz Bop album at most. And really, the majority of it is just that money grab of taking the idea of what's already been done by the Now collections and then just saying, hey, it's for kids. We're going to change some of the words here to make it appropriate for kids. We're not going to specifically choose songs that are originally appropriate for kids, but we're going to change these around because they're really popular. And of course, they're, you know, if you're going to introduce them to these songs, why not introduce them to the kids this way? No. It's pointless and stupid, unnecessary. I don't understand how it's even still a thing. It's still going. For those of you who are wondering, it is still a thing to this day. They're on number 40 by now. And now that's what I call music collections, for perspective, are on number 73. But still, the fact that Kidz Bop has been able to pump out like 2 or more of these per year, essentially doing the same thing as the Now collections, and still making boatloads of money off of it, enough to have their own production company, to do their own music videos, have their own live shows, and all of that kind of stuff. It's crazy and ridiculous for all the reasons that I've previously stated. Can we stop this, please? I guess I'm almost trying to go for like a boycott Kidz Bop sort of thing. It's just because I think it's so stupid and pointless. But that's my opinion. I'm sure other people will agree, but I would not be surprised if there are others who disagree. So again, leave your thoughts in the comments. Anyway, rant over. That's it for now. So, yeah. you know what to do to follow my channel and all that kind of stuff. And if you don't, just look down in the description for info on that, including my social media pages and everything. It's all down there. Just look at the description if you don't know. So anyway, that's going to do it for this time around, I guess. I guess I'm done either ruffling feathers or just getting people riled up for now. So, yeah. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you next time when I'll probably be a little bit calmer and less ranty. But anyway, until next time, stay cool, people.